How about you kick us off today? What do you want to talk about?
I think we should start with the doubts. Do you doubt the power of marriage? I think most people would respond that they've at least considered that there are doubts. It's not a no-brainer for everybody. There are a lot of them. A lot of them I hear in my practice, and a lot of them you just see out there. One of them is fear of losing your independence. I hear that a lot, either from somebody that just left home and has started college, and they're like, I don't want to get into a relationship. I'm finally out of my parents' home. I like being alone. And then there's other people that have lived alone for a really long time. I've had 30-something say, I don't think I could get married because I'm kind of set in my ways. I like to do X, Y, and Z, and getting married would get in the way of that.
You're describing Alexa potentially.
Maybe.
No. Our daughter, Alexa, will turn 26 shortly and enjoys massively living alone.
Yep.
And I think she's expressed concern a few different times of, wait a minute, if I have to live with someone else, how is that going to go?
In my practice, I have walked through with people how to adjust to making a commitment with somebody, living with them.
It takes an adjustment, massive adjustment. So yeah, it's not a no-brainer that you're going to mesh and be well living together. So yeah, losing your independence and living together, losing your personal time is only one form of independence. There's tons of other independence, decision-making, financial control, et cetera. So yeah, so doubt of fear of losing your independence. I hear the all the time, well, it's just a piece of paper. Why do I need? It's just a piece of paper. We're committed to each other. We love each other. We're staying together. All right, so that's a modern doubt. We'll tell you why you need a paper later, but I think that's a doubt I hear a lot. Yeah. What else do you hear?
Fear of divorce.
Oh, yeah.
The numbers. Everybody's scared of the numbers. What's out there? What is it? You're better with the data on that.
Yeah. I'm not going to quote the data on that because the data is all over the place on that. There's this urban myth that half of marriages, 50% of marriages end in divorce. And that's based on some research that was done many years ago. And it leaves out all sorts of really important factors, such as when did you get married in life? What decade of life was your marriage? Were you married in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s? Because divorce rates skyrocketed in the 70s. They've been dropping in the 80s, 90s, 2000s. The divorce rate right now is actually really low, but it's also potentially a factor that less people are getting married. The other thing in there is that that's all marriages. Well, what if you're a serial marrier? What if you've been married 4, 5, 6, 7 times, which there's a lot of those? Well, that spikes the rate. That's the problem with stats on all of these things. At the time I last heard research on this, something in the neighborhood of 70% of women were still married to their first husband. And that included those marriages that ended in death, spouse died. That's a much different picture than 50%. So the fear of divorce is real. Yes, it has massive impact, especially if you have kids and everything. But the stats around it, it's a harder picture than what's been painted there.
Yeah.
What else? You already said independence. Oh, another one I hear a lot is, well, I'm not religious. Why would I get married? I think that's common. The church, we've talked earlier that in other previous episodes, if you're in a church, in a religion, there's a clear path of why you would get married. Maybe not so much if you're not religious, although we would like to dispel that myth as well, but there's no doubt. Any other doubts?
No, those are the ones that I hear most often.
Yeah, if you got any of your own doubts we missed, toss them in the comments.
Mm-hmm. We can address them in future episodes.
Yeah, we'll dispel them in future episodes. No, I just, that's a little aggressive.
Address, not dispel.
No,
Come on now.
We'll dispel them.